So I am somewhat appraised. I was at the hospital to see Frankie. Marlo let me in on some things. Speedy let me in on some things. I spoke to Turner. I told him to look into it. And for the first time in a long time, there was immediate action being taken instead of the fucking brain damaged shit that I dealt with situations similar to this a little while back. So,
what immediate action was taken?
you're gonna find out. You're gonna hear this firsthand. So,
okay.
But I want to hear from you. Pretend I didn't say any of this. Lay it on me.
Good friend of mine. Years now.
Mm.
Worked for me back in the day. Almost like a brother to me. Is dead. Frankie. I show up with some of mine. I call up his closest. And we're mourning. The city has lost a good man today. One of the best.
Oh.
And then we get a fucking cop coming in. A city cop. LSPD. Fucking Trevent. Looking to give us a ticket. And that just fucking sends me, you know. I'm seeing fucking red. I want to kill this motherfucker.
Wait, really?
Time and place. Time and fucking place. You can give me a ticket any fucking day.
It was a different story.
Not next to one of my brother's deathbed. Nah, not like that. So, I get word that more officers arrive, and they're looking to push this warrant over a shootout that happened the other day.
If Leo wakes up, we tell him
A shootout that began because I think it was Jimbo in his fucking supercar. He opened his doors.
Hello.
Both doors were wide open on a car, and he was running my people over. So we fired back. And there was another one. I think his name is D-Lin Q or some shit. LSPD, also running people over. So yeah, we're gonna bite back, right? We're not just gonna take that. So a big shootout happens. A lot of cops go down. We go down. All that. Storm hits. You know, it's a big storm. And well. We checked to see if we have warrants. No warrants. We checked twice. 2 days had passed. One of my people gets locked up. They arrest him for another crime, and then they slap the warrant on him right then and there. Unaware of it. I speak to a sheriff yesterday. I think it was a sheriff. Aspen may have been. I'm not sure. BCSO.
Sheriff.
Asked her if there was a warrant. She said, no. Nothing's going to come out of it. Nothing's going to happen. You're all good. You're in the clear. You're free to go. I said, okay, shit. So why the fuck was one of mine arrested for it? Why are some getting punished and the others not? Why can't these fucking officers get on one single goddamn page? And then I'm here. I'm in the fucking cells for this little shootout that we had. This little crash out that we had. And I'm hearing information is being thrown, like they're talking about how the shootout happened, and they're naming different locations, completely different locations. These motherfuckers don't even have their facts straight, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's happened. They disrespected us, and I am fucking fuming. Not only me, but everybody around me.
So I heard slightly different stories. Were you told about warrants being served at the ICU?
Not directly from an officer, but yeah.
From Malo, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the ticket which kicked it off, or was it hearing about the warrants potentially being served in the ICU?
It was about the warrants. The
Okay.
ticket was, you know, let's spin back, see if Trevet's there. Trevet's there, boom. leads to
icing on
another
the
fucking
cake.
shootout. Right.
So what I'm trying to dissect here, because I
Mr. Chingo, your time is up.
I'll be leaving shortly. Just
Wonderful,
finishing up a
thank you.
visitation. Thank you.
Good to see you, Mr. Mayor.
Hey, good to see you too. The reason why I'm asking that specifically is it looks like two situations kind of like mixing together. The way that it was portrayed to me between Marlo and Speedy was that Trevette was there to issue a warrant, but separately there was discussions about issuing the warrant while you guys were in ICU. There's sort of like two things here, right? One is like if you need to chase someone into the ICU room, you're on some crack, right?
Right.
Wait outside if you need to. Not the time or place. If someone's in ICU, they're obviously seeing someone they care about.
Right.
Number two, and this what I find more egregious, is attempting to serve a warrant within the hospital. Unless you've been smoking like fucking dick your entire life, you know, attempting to do any sort of aggressive action, be it, you know, detainment, be it issuing a warrant, be it a crew trying to run into another crew in the hospital, you know, you're risking shit popping off, and you're putting hospital staff, patients, people that can't protect themselves into jeopardy. It's brain dead. It's something that should have been stopped a long time ago. For it to rear its head again, problematic. So that's issue number one. It sounds like you should speak with Turner. Now, I'm not suggesting that should change whatever your equation is going forward, but I think it's very important that what you know is disseminated to him so that he can crack the whip. And it's the very reason I brought him in. He's not afraid to do that. However, he needs all the information he can get in order to make that resolution. The problem is, and I'm just going to say this straight, is it doesn't matter if you're a judge, justice, cop, you can lie and you can be corrupt in our current society. So nothing stops law enforcement from making up shit in their report. And that includes what happened at the beach. What was told to me is that these warrants, this is from Speedy, maybe a little bit from CJ, that you guys were like 15 deep at the beach doing your thing, and you had officers come over and start bumping you down onto the ground with their vehicles, which is assault, and then subsequently open their vehicles and start running you over with them. As far as I'm concerned, if you took out firearms and shot them, you should not be in the wrong, because fundamentally you're defending yourself. You are valuing your own life. And I'm just going to put it like that. And because I've had to put it like that when I spoke to Turner to make it clear, is that it doesn't matter who the fucking person is. If they are using something to potentially kill you, you have the God-given right to protect your life from threat of death or injury. I understand if other officers arrived because these brain-dead fucks decided to pop their like emergency buttons, because the rest of those cops are coming in just assuming, you know, it's just, they're just going to see it as what it is. The fact that it even got that far afterwards with no one standing out and saying, hey, why are we charging them for defending themselves? You know what I mean? It doesn't, I don't know. So I really want to see this get resolved, like at the heart of it. I'm all down for ha-ha hee-hees all fucking day. But if ha-ha hee-hees are coming with like $250,000 charges, if it's resulting in cops like, why did they do it to begin with? Was there even a reason? Were you fucking with them? Like what? Like I'm so confused.
We
Like
were checking out a property that's down there, and we went on the rooftop of the property next to it. So Carmine shows up, saying that we're trespassing on that rooftop. We were just going up top to see the view. That's it. That's literally it. We climbed down. You know, they're fucking around, right? It's not as serious. It's not as deep.
wait,
It's
so they
just
came
them
down
fucking
and they
around.
were saying you might have been trespassing?
Right. Yeah. Seemed like they were fucking around. You know, we were entertaining it. That's it. Then the assault happens after that. That's when things get serious.
Who assaulted you? Wait, hold on. But why? I'm still confused. How did it go from trespassing to let's run them over with our vehicles?
Well, in the back and forth, you know, we were fucking with them while they were pressing us. It was a back and forth messing around, if you want to call it.
Okay, but tell me exactly what that means. Because I need to make sense of this. Were you running them over with cars? Were you
No, we
flashing
were on
guns?
foot. Everybody was on foot. No weapons were being flashed. We were kicking their cars to get them out of the area. Right? Again, fucking around.
Yeah. So, and then they used that as a reason to run you over?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Basically, tell them to get the fuck out of the area because, you know, we ain't doing nothing. You can't trespass us. You know,
Yeah, you're
that's
just
it. Like,
hurting their property. Who gives a fuck?
Right. Then they use that property to, the cars to fucking run some of my boys over. There was at least 2 or 3 that were ran over. Clark was one of them.
Hmm.
And I know for a fact it was it was Jimbo. Jimbo ran people over. And there's D-Lin, I don't fucking know his name.
D-Link.
D-Link. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I really don't like this has been like the heart of, you guys are not the only ones that are dealing with this kind of shit. It's really frustrating for me. Because the problem is that there's a good chance that they're lying in their police reports. I've recommended to Speedy, and I recommend you to do the same, is get the FOIAs. And let's see how much truth is in there. And
I mean,
this and this shouldn't be at the end. You know what makes it even more difficult is the cops have the justices sucking their dick right now. So all these fines and shit just magically changed, and all these new charges came into place. And I can't even fight that shit. They don't have the legal authority to do it, but they feel like they've spoken to enough people, and apparently that's enough. How bad was the charges today, like money wise?
For me, it was close to 220, 230.
220, 230?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the warrant, which was around 90,000, and the other one, which is like 130.
Okay. Did that go up? Because I was under the impression it was like $250,000 with a shootout with the cops normally.
Yeah, I mean that's just my charge, right? We're talking about 6 different people that were involved in the shootout that also got fined, that also got the warrant.
Is it hitting hot now?
It's hitting hard, yeah. It's. I mean, attempted murder of a government employee was $2,000 more or less. Now it's up to what, like 6,000, something like that. Per person.
Let me see.
Mind you, these guys fucking every time there's a shootout, there's fucking 30 of them, running in. So everybody that you fucking shoot.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you
murder.
shot at me.
Right.
One thing that I still don't know is like on what basis this stuff came in. You know what scares me? I was thinking about it this morning as I was like raging out on all the other shit I'm fighting. With the PNY cards and shit like that, civilians can now be, if you go off duty doing G6, you can get arrested immediately with possession of security firm cash or security firm equipment.
Don't they give you those after the job?
brother,
Doesn't make
DOJ's
sense.
fucking brain dead. There's like 2 of them that show up in the city and they talk to like a handful of people and think they're fucking experts. And
who is in the DOJ? Who's running that?
it's Faulkner, some Arcadia Grayson. And then comes the list of the ones that never show up in the city, which is Hart, who is at the cusp of why the Constitution changed. Weiss, who shows up occasionally and just has a very heavy-handed opinions without knowing jack shit about how the city operates. Because he's, I don't know what to tell you. Like, he's just has never historically been around.
Right.
And then there's McNee, who generally was a pretty decent guy, but he's a pussy. He's pussy as fuck because he's the one that, under the threat of Angel, signed the search warrant for Pred after she pretty much screamed at him. And he's, for the last 3 months, not been around. So these are the people that do it. So I don't know what to tell you.
Christ.
It's strange though, right? Like, yo, these are illegal. I mean, we're talking to people, but they talk in their circle of like law enforcement jerk offs, like, you know. But I actually pushed some legislation out to make it very clear that judges aren't in charge. Like in every Western country, judges don't come up with charges; they oversee cases. If they come up with charges, how are they ever going to be neutral? Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. They're the ones that should be passing on the sentence.
Exactly. This is what the legislative bodies are saying, right? They're saying it's legal and illegal. We're going to preside over it, right? Based on facts and circumstances. But if they create the charges, then they, you know, like,
yeah.
how are they going to, they're going to find everyone guilty because they intentionally worded a certain way.
True. Yeah.
Let me just read you one example. It is illegal to possess any security firm labeled equipment without being on-duty security firm employee. So if you're a civilian, clean record, run G6, get a bunch of this equipment, and you keep it on you after you clock out to do something else, and you get searched, rip your clean record.
And rip your job, too.
Yep. So.
Jesus, fuck.
Yeah.
There's another thing, right? I mean, along these lines, you know, we with the shootout that we had, we held up at Humane Labs. There was 4 of us. We had class 1s. Pistols. Yeah, we had a fucking Glock and a fucking Desert Eagle. I saw these fucking officers with class 2s storming the fucking place. Like, you know, I understand what I'm signing up for here, but, you know, there's a fuck ton of them, and there's a fuck ton of them with class 2s. Like, it's a lot of force, you know? A lot of force. I understand meet force with force, right? If I have a class 2, sure, bring yours. But Jesus, fuck.
It's
no
very difficult. We're living in a very draconian society because once DOJ is fundamentally and underhandedly very police oriented, and they are. I will swear up and down on this. It's actually disgusting. And not based on the principle of oh my God, what's the word? Like liberties, like the liberty of people. You end up with a very third world country sort of interpretation of how things should be, you know? But what I'm saying right there is probably a little too deep for them to take on.
Right, yeah.
You know, I correlate it with Donald Trump right now, signing fucking executive orders left and right. Like, that's pretty much what the DOJ has become, and you can't point it out without them getting fucking butthurt in 2 seconds. So, listen.
This shit's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Everything.
I will say that talking to Turner, while it may not materialize in exactly what you're looking for, it is a very important first step to cutting out the rot. Because if law enforcement is the initiator of violence, even if it's a handful of them, then who is in the right and who is in the wrong at that point, right? And no one in their right mind is going to expect gang-affiliated individuals not to occasionally use violence as a means to an end. But law enforcement needs to be above that, because if they are not, they're quite frankly just another gang, except backed by the government. And
Gang
that's
with a
not
badge.
good.
Yeah.
Precisely. So,
I don't know, Nino. I mean, talking to officers and shit, it's not really what I go by. Kind of goes against my code. Whether it is to fuck over another officer or not, it's, to me, that's, and I know I hang around, you know, people that they don't really care about that, but I do.
Why would you not talk to law enforcement if it's about their own cops?
I guess that's where I'm at, right? At the end of the day, I'm not ratting out another gang member. It's about one of their own, which at the end of the day would do me better. Does it have to come from me, though? I mean, what if you talk to him or anybody?
I did, but this city runs on fucking the worst game of telephone in the world. That's why they got to hear from people that were like directly there, you know?
I understand.
And you've
I'll
done
think
your
about it.
time, right? You've paid your dues. There's no reason for you to be lying, and I think he's going to know that.
Yeah, true.
But I would speak to him and him alone. You bring in any of the other dingleberries, and you know they're going to be more concerned about protecting themselves than they are for the truth to come out.
And you vouch for this guy. You know he's gonna do.
That's why I got rid of
You know.
Moss. She goes out there claiming that I fired her, but she wanted out. She allowed fucking Hades to get mag dump in a vehicle and protect their fucking brain damaged fucking captain instead of resolving the issue. Yeah, hear what happened to Hades?
Nah.
They demanded food for their hostage. PD called 78s. They get inside the vehicle and they mag dump the vehicle at a flicker bank.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Because they asked food for the hostage.
Food for the hostage. They said, oh, I'm the only officer around. And they said, go get another one to get the food. And they intentionally interpreted that as forcing cops to break off a call. And they were threatening the hostage, which is fucking, excuse my language, retarded. Because that's literally what hostages are for.
Right, yeah. They're not there to fucking have a nice little talk. They're there as leverage.
And when I asked for there to be some resolution, like, they couldn't handle that. Like, how difficult is it to, like, pull your cops aside and scream at them and suspend one? Like, but instead, what they do with these problems, and this is what I deal with on the daily basis, instead of it being, like, a simple thing where they, like, bring them in, fucking ream them out, suspend them for 24 hours, they spent the next 2 weeks coming up with excuses and bringing their own sag farming into the mix. It's disgusting.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Some fucking accountability, huh?
A little bit of fucking accountability. Everyone else has got to do it. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. These badges, you know, they sometimes think they're untouchable. And,
yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, fuck me. That's... Get the FOIA. You got a lawyer and all that?
yeah, Robin. Robin Ferrara.
Yeah, I think that's, sooner you get that FOIA, the better. But I definitely think you should talk to Turner.
I'll think about it.
All right. Or someone else in your crew that has credibility and a good sense of, like, remembering details. Because, like I said, you're going to be dealing with a lot of people that might be lying in their reports. Because it happens. I'm telling you, it does. Motherfuckers go up on the stand and lie. So,
Okay. I appreciate you coming down here, Nino.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a lot of thought. I'll contact my lawyer, get the FOIA,
All right.
and we'll see where this goes.
Easy. Hey, by the way, you requested 33 million.
What?
Yeah. On the thing. That's obviously not happening, but I imagine it's a typo.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an extra zero somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 3 million, but
Oh,
yeah, I'm
shit.
locked up for Valentine's, so that ain't happening.
I left the Valentine's Day card that I got at the end of dinner at the dinner table. So now I think I got to dump it just in case. You know what I mean? It gets serious, and then like 3 years down the line, hey, do you still have that card? And like,
Yeah, you better hold on to that. Yeah.
yeah, well, it's
10
gone.
steps ahead.
I got thrown out.
All right. Well, I gotta head back. But you take care, all right?
All right, you too. How you doing, Gary?
Good to see you.